it's Kate Griffiths here from Whole Self Leadership, and I'm coming on today because I want to talk to you a bit more about fear, which is the topic of our book group book, How Not to Be Afraid. And in the 4th chapter, what we look at is this concept that you don't know the end of the story. So if you think about fear, and maybe you are afraid of something right now, and there's that feeling in your gut or somewhere in your body, which can be absolutely paralysing. And what happens when you recognise and step into that truth, that the story is still in progress, you don't know the end? Now, it's quite interesting because in the chapter, Gareth Higgins talks about a time when he was talking to a group of people and he was paralysed by fear. And I can really relate to that because that happened to me 20 years ago when I was working as a consultant. I was at PricewaterhouseCoopers and I was working on a project to develop the arts and humanities strategy for the British Library. And I was about to give a presentation to the board of the British Library, which included the CEO, her top team, and the non-exec people. And I was absolutely terrified. There was a voice in my head, going 19 to a dozen. And my boss at the British Library stood up and made an introduction and stole my opening lines, unintentionally, but that completely threw me and I didn't know where to go next. And I have to say, I stumbled through that presentation, absolutely hating doing it, every minute of it, and I could feel the sweat pouring down my back. I got through it, and I remember something I learned, which was the value, I suppose, of the whole painful experience. The importance of learning to breathe, of remembering to breathe, and to taking time when giving a talk and giving a presentation, so that people have time to catch up with what you're saying. But also is like telling a story. And recently I did a reading with a wonderful woman called Christina Dreiser, here on LinkedIn, an archetype reading, and in it, in the house of relationships, I got the storyteller, which kind of made me smile because I do love telling stories. And that linked to me then the importance of, love, which is connected to relationships, which is connected to abundance. So I was drawn to showing you this beautiful spritzer. So have a good look at that and see what it brings up for you. How do you feel about this beautiful pink colour? This is Pink Angel, which represents love, and love is one of the key energies of 2022, and I'm going to be talking to my community about that more tomorrow night. And I'm kind of bringing it in right now because I'm interested in, what is the connection between love, relationships, and abundance? How do we see all of those? And one way you can describe it, I was doing some work with Mowgli Mentoring at the moment. And when we were looking at the mentoring relationship, they had this wonderful triangle. They said at the base of the triangle, so at the widest point, sits relationships, because relationships are the foundation of everything. And when we've got good relationships, when there's love in those relationships, then it opens everything up and we can see more opportunities, maybe a range of endings, potential endings to our story if we're carrying on that theme. And so when we see those opportunities, then more possibilities emerge and make themselves visible. And so that feels really abundant and rich. And it's from that place that we take action. And that may be an iterative process so that we are honing and refining that action. And that impacts on performance. So to get excellent performance needs to be built on a solid foundation of really strong relationships. And so that's why it's at the heart of everything I do, because it's all about the interconnection of all things, or as Thich Nhat Hanh said, of interbeing, because, you know, we are all in relationship, whether we're aware of it or not. And more than anything, it's what's in the space between that relationship. So I hope this brief video has given you some insights, some questions to go away and mull over, and that it will enrich your discussions in some way and give you another way in, another lens on how to be with fear, because fear is a natural, normal feeling and it can keep us safe. And so it's about how we can take that into our core, the core of our core, and still be in a centered space, because it is all part of the sensations that we feel, if not on a daily basis, on a regular basis. So I wish you well wherever you are, and I hope you have a fabulous day, and look forward to connecting with you again soon. Bye for now.